What's up, guys? So Apex Legends has been out for a little bit over a week and a half now, and I'm still absolutely loving the game, dude. It's so much fun. It's such a nice change of pace. It's fresh, it's fun, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of you guys out there feel the same way. The support on the videos has been amazing, and what do you guys say? Should we start up some tip videos? I mean, that's where I came from back in COD, were the tip videos. So today I've got 5 things you may not know about Apex Legends. So these are going to be 5 tips that I feel like are a little bit lesser known. Like, I know there are a ton of tip videos out there. A lot of those tips are pretty basic. These are going to start to get a little bit more intermediate to advanced, but I'm hoping, you know, obviously you guys might know 1 or 2 of these things. I'm hoping you pick up at least a couple of things from this video that are going to help you out and make you a better player. So starting off here, damage numbers. Obviously, there's a lot going on in Apex Legends. There are so many vibrant colors and things going on all around the map in terms of the actual map itself, the attachments, the weapons, the bullets, the grenades, the charging of your abilities. Like, there's just a lot going on. So sometimes it can get a little bit confusing, but what you really should pay attention to are the numbers showing up when you shoot enemies. So those are going to be one of 4 different colors. If they're a gold number, that means you're doing headshot damage. If they're a purple number, that means the enemy has either purple shields or gold shields. If they're a blue number, it means the enemy has a blue shield on. If it's a white number, it means the enemy has a white shield. Or if it's a white with like a red outline, that means the enemy has no shield at all and you're actually doing damage to their health. So this is really, really important because it helps you gauge your gunfights and know when you should push because the enemy's almost dead versus when you might want to think about dropping back, using some equipment, using one of your abilities. And it also helps you out with calling out to teammates. Obviously, it's really important to be able to call somebody one shot, but you want to make sure you know they're one shot. You want to make sure you know that they're low health. And if you pay attention to these numbers, you know that for sure. So if it's a purple number, that means they've got purple armor, which means they probably have somewhere around 200 HP. They've got like the 100 normal health points as well as 100 extra HP from their purple armor. If it's blue, they probably got about 175 HP. If it's white, about 150 HP. And then if it's white with the red, it's 100 HP or less. So again, just keep that in mind. If you see that white or that white and red, that's probably when you want to push. If you see that blue or that purple, that's when you might want to think about, you know, dialing it a step back. I guess it depends on how confident you are in your shot and if you have health yourself, but use that to your advantage. One other little thing you can do is if you go into the settings, you can actually change the numbers to floating rather than the default, and that way it keeps every individual number up there. It doesn't group them all together for one mass damage. It shows you each amount of damage that you do at each time, so you know exactly what you've done. You can like quickly add it up in your head, and you just kind of know exactly where you are. So like, let's say you get 3 blue hit markers, and then you get 1 white hit marker. You know you're 1 shot into his white shield, so he's getting low on health. It just gives you a little bit more information rather than, you know, throwing it all into one number. So I feel like I like that personally better, but it's all personal preference. Moving on to our second tip here, we're going to be talking about the gold items in the game. Now, I'm not talking about weapons, but rather the gold body armor, the gold helmets, the gold knockdown shields, and the gold backpacks. So contrary to popular belief, gold is not better than purple in like the primary function. So like a gold shield and a purple shield each give you 100 HP of shield. There's no difference between them there. A gold backpack holds the same number of items as a purple backpack. Gold helmet reduces headshot damage the same amount as the purple helmet does. The only difference is the gold items actually have an extra special ability, and those abilities are always the same. So with a gold body shield, you are going to be able to fully recharge your shields when you execute an enemy. So if you knock somebody down and you're in a safe spot and you've got that gold body shield on, make sure you always execute, because then you're going to be able to fully recharge your shields without having to use any shield batteries or anything like that. So that's pretty useful. The gold helmet increases the charge speed of your tactical and ultimate abilities. So obviously you want to use this on certain characters where the ults take a while. Like, for example, if we're playing in a team and somebody's playing Lifeline, that Lifeline person should get that gold helmet if it's found, because she's going to get her supply crate ultimate ability way more often. So make sure you divvy it up amongst your team where it actually makes sense, and don't just go after the gold because you want it to be gold, because purple's the exact same thing. The gold knockdown shield actually gives you self-revival. Now the thing is, it takes a really long time. It takes like 2 or 3 times as long to be able to revive yourself, but it's pretty useful. If an enemy knocks you down, go around the corner, hold it, you can res yourself back up 1 time by yourself. obviously that can change the game. And then finally, last but not least, the gold backpack, which is personally one of my favorites, increases the speed at which you use health and shield things. So like, syringes or shield batteries or anything else, the time it takes, I believe, is cut down in half. So obviously that's really, really powerful. But yeah, that's the difference between the gold items. They've got kind of like this extra special ability. They don't actually work any better than their purple counterparts. Next up has to do with respawning. So obviously this is one of the biggest, the best additions that this game has given to the Battle Royale genre, is the fact that when you are knocked down and then you're thirsted, which is a very frustrating thing in Fortnite and Blackout and PUBG and anything else, you are not out of the game in this game. Your teammates can go to your pack, they can pick up your beacon, they can take you to a respawn point, and then they can call you back into the match. Now, you don't have any of your items or anything, but at least you're back in the match. There's no reason to back out when somebody goes down, because you can always bring everybody back. That's a really, really cool part of this game. It's probably one of my favorite features we have here. However, there's one thing that not a lot of people know, and I thought this at first too, is that the person that picks up the beacon is the person that has to take it to the respawn point. So like, it's some sort of item they pick up, they take it to the respawn point, and then they can activate it to bring the other teammate in. That is not the case. Once one teammate picks up the respawn beacon, the other teammate can go and res the third guy. So like right here, Brad and I survived this fight. Jimmy's down, we've got to revive him. Brad's actually the one that got the beacon out of Jimmy's case, but I can go run to the respawn point to bring him back in. Now in this scenario, it didn't really matter because we were already both right next to the beacon anyway, but in some situations you're gonna find it where, the beacon is quite a ways away from where that fight just occurred. So one teammate can go and run and pick up that friend's beacon. The other teammate can just initially start running off to the respawn point. That way, as soon as the first teammate's able to pick it up, the second teammate's already at the respawn point and he can just call him in right away. Now, in most scenarios, this isn't too necessary, but sometimes the storm is coming, sometimes you have to act fast, and this can save your butt. It's worked for us. So make sure you guys keep that in mind. Also, if you guys didn't know, a little bit lesser of a tip, I think most people know this, but you can actually revive both of your teammates at the same time. So if you pick up 2 beacons, go use them at the same time, they'll both come in on that dropship. But yeah, just keep in mind, the person that picks it up isn't the person that has to revive them. Next up, we've got a tip about snipers. Now, personally, I feel like the truly super long range snipers, when you put on like 6 to 8 biscopes and stuff like that, I feel like they're a little bit underpowered in this game. I feel like usually you're better off going with something a little bit more mid-range with like a 2 to 4 biscope, and obviously the Kraber's good, but overall I feel like snipers are a little bit underpowered. I feel like you're better off going medium to short range and just pushing people. I do have a tip for you guys on long range shots. So as you guys are going to see right here, let's say there was an enemy up on top of this rock that's super far away. If I aim right at the top of the rock, obviously we're going to have bullet drop over long distances. So that's not going to work. It would have landed short. Well, if you guys look, there's actually a range finder on all of the sniper scopes that tells you exactly how far away that enemy is. So you can see the top of this rock is around 375 meters away. Well, the actual numbers on the sniper scope on like the vertical line, those match up to those distances. So again, 375 meters away, if I aim up a little bit so that I'm about 3/4 of the way down to the number 4 on that sniper mark, boom, that would have hit that guy right square in the face. So keep this in mind if you do find yourself with a sniper scope. Obviously, you are going to be sniping people from 400 meters very often, but even if it's just 100 meters away, use the 1 dash to make sure you get the headshot. You know what I mean? Like it's super helpful. You should never miss shots with the sniper if the person's standing still because of bullet drop, because you can look at it perfectly from a distance there, which is kind of cool. Now, finally, last but not least, the last tip I have for you guys has to do with doors. So doors are obviously an important part of this game. You can open them up, you can close them. If you guys didn't know, you can actually open and close them when you're knocked down as well, which can be useful. But in all seriousness, they really are useful. All doors have windows in them, so you can look to the outside, you can look at enemies without exposing yourself. They're very useful to kind of create choke points and make enemies have to come through a certain location. However, there are 2 ways you can open a door without actually opening it, like without opening it the polite way. So the first way is you can melee doors. You'll actually kick them down. So the first kick is gonna crush it a little bit, like it'll crumble a little bit, and then the second kick will actually break the door entirely, like the door is no longer on the hinges. That can be useful if you have enemies that are camping in a building. You can actually break down the door and then throw all your grenades and stuff in because they can't prevent it from happening. The other thing you can do is just throw a grenade at the base of the door. You guys can see right here, the frag grenade blows up the door entirely. So again, kind of a special circumstance kind of thing, but I've run into so many teams that will just camp in a building. If you blow up their door, they have no way to stop you from throwing your abilities in there and your grenades in there and all kinds of stuff like that. And that can be pretty useful. So yeah, there you guys have it. Those are 5 tips that I'm hoping are a little bit less known, a little bit less newbie, and a little bit more advanced here in Apex Legends. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you guys learned something new. So let me know what you guys think. You guys want to see some more tip videos from me on this game? Like I said, I've been loving it. I've been playing it like crazy, and I've got a lot of cool ideas. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to see you guys in our next Apex Legends video. Peace out.